Welcome, everybody. I'm super excited to have us here this evening in Overcoming the Fear of Failure Masterclass. I know what I have overcome to be here this evening. So many things, but I'm glad that I've been able to honor the commitment I made with myself and the commitment I made with you all to show up this evening. Oh my God, somebody's joining from Kenya. Thank you, Francis Pinites. That is a brother. Thank you so much. Oh, please go and tell them on the spin group. Tell them that we are alive. Tell them that we are alive. Thank you so much, Francis. How was your journey in Spain? Okay, this is my family meeting. Let me go back to where I'm here. I'm excited to see somebody from Spain. Yeah. Thank you, Francis. Thank you. This means the world to me. And yes, every one of us, please. This means the world to me that you are here. So, welcome. I'm also going to click the record button. So, you would hear the prompt on your system. Beautiful. And then the last thing I'll do is share my screen. So welcome everybody. It's good to have you here. And this conversation is one that interests me in many ways. And so I'll be doing it with you all this evening. The goal is that towards the end of this session, I should do a 15-minute coaching for somebody on the spot. I don't know what will come up, but that's the desire, that's my prayer. That's what I want to do. So as we go along, I want you to take notes, write down, of course, anything that comes up for you and you feel like you need to be coached in this area. Just bring it up and we'll try to do it here briefly. And we'll see how that goes. All right? So welcome, everybody. This is Poham Consulting Masterclass. And today we're going to be talking about overcoming the fear of failure. We want to see how we can turn our setbacks into setups and turn our paralysis into purpose. And this is me. Yay! My name is O.C.N. and I'm a life coach and a purpose coach. And I can coach you in any area of your life, really. And so I'm glad that you are here this evening. But I have a question for you in the next 2 minutes. And the question is, why are you here? Yes, I know you saw the link. I saw that you clicked on it and you are here. So why are you here? I don't know if anyone can tell me, just one or two people or everyone. And please don't let the fear of, I don't know if I'm saying the right thing, hold you back, right? So you are always saying the right thing. Yes. So why are you here? I know I have gathered you here. I know I have brought you here. I know I have done this, put together this masterclass, despite having a newborn, right? But I know why I've put this together. So why are you here? Can someone tell us that maybe in the chat box? Why are you here? Why are you here? Okay, so while you are putting that down, I will go on, right? Why have I brought you here? So this is a little of my story, I guess, is that, where's my slide going to? About 17 or 18 years ago, when I got into the university, I made up my mind that I was not going to fail. Like, if I had to do 4 years, I was going to do the 4 years and come out of school. Nothing extra, nothing dragging me back. Like, just go in and come out, right? And of course I did, I did whatever I needed to do to ensure that I came out successfully. Was that good? Yes, that was good. That was brilliant. That was excellent. But now I look back and I realized that what was a driving force for me was the fear of failure. And it hit me that, oh my, that is the reason why I have refused to pursue any other education now, because I'm afraid that I may not have the time to do all that is necessary for me to pass and succeed. So instead of me to pursue any degree, let me just, I keep using, and this is, in fact, I still said it some months ago, except that now I'm taking courses, I'm taking certifications, I'm doing what I need to do, right? But once in a while, I still hear myself saying things like, the degree that I have, it has not finished working. But that is coming from a place of fear of failure. So I realized that was one of the ways fear was masking in my life. I said one of the ways fear is, I will not say was, fear is masking in my life, avoidance. So I'm avoiding things that I should be stepping forward to do simply because I am afraid to fail. So you see, I realized that I was not alone. In fact, that was when I was talking with a friend of mine, and it dawned on me that I'm not alone. Now, this other friend I was talking to, despite her fear, she had gone on to get her PhD. She's currently a doctor, right? And so if I had put in the effort, if I had realized what was happening at the time, maybe, just maybe, I would have been a doctor myself, right? So I have brought us here this evening to help us. That's one of the processes I had to go through. The process of reframing, your belief system and all is a journey. You don't get there and say, I have arrived. In fact, the fact that you think that you have arrived is a concern because you're on a journey, you're on a spectrum. So one of the reasons we are here this evening is to help us reframe what failure means to us, and then help us understand the roots of this fear. And as much as I can, I want to give us the tools that we can use, on our own when we leave this place. And I do hope that I'll be able to deliver on this assignment. Are we together? Are we together? If you're together, let's just say yes. Yes in the meeting box, in the comment section. Yes, I know I'm not talking to myself. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's get into it. Remember why you are here. If for anything, please write it down. Why are you here? Thank you. I think someone had, okay, I'm here to learn how to handle failure experiences and make the most of it. Beautiful. Now, our first task would be to meditate or reflect in the next 3 minutes on this quote. What if everything you called failure was actually preparation? What if everything you called failure was actually preparation? I want you to sit with that question. Analyze. And my example I gave, and that's the beauty of life when you try to see things from different lenses, right? When I saw this quote, I was like, yes, I need this. I need this because when I look back, that experience made me realize that ahead of me was a journey. And I was going to help people because it's interesting that people are still doing what I did 17 years ago. They're still doing like upload, like download. So they cram through the school, pass exams, but come out and 1 year later, they can't even Like they didn't learn how to learn, which is something I struggled with at the time. I did not learn how to learn. But now I'm learning, right? So what if everything that you are calling failure right now is actually preparing you for your future? It's actually preparing you for success. One of the things I began to realize is that failure should be seen as data. Don't make conclusions on your failure. Sadly, that's what we do. And so instead of seeing our missteps, instead of seeing our setbacks, instead of seeing it as something that, is opening our eyes to another perspective, we begin to make judgments to say, I'm not good, I'm not this. What if everything you called failure was actually preparation? It would help you remove shame from the equation. Yes. If you realize that what you're calling failure is actually preparation, it will help you remove shame from the equation, because the truth is you can't be ashamed of preparing. No, who is ashamed of? Nobody's ashamed to prepare. You see that? And that is, as we reflect, I want to start taking, that's the first reframe for us. We've started already. All right. Now, quotes again. When you make friends with fear, it can't rule you. When you make friends with fear, it can't rule you. I believe this, there's nothing much I can say on this, right? Fear is not something that you fear. It's something you make friends with. Do you know why? Because it will always be there. As a matter of fact, the earlier you give your fear a name, so maybe you can call your fear Taiwo, or you can call your fear Esther. Oh, sorry, Esther is in the room. You can just give your fear a name, so that when you begin to feel it, what do? You call it by the name and say, Peter, you are here. That's nice. I can see you. You're welcome. But there are certain things I need to do. I'm already rushing ahead of myself, but let's stay with this quote. When you make friends with fear, it cannot rule you. Another beautiful quote is, every successful person has a story of failure that became a stepping stone. I've just shared mine. I started reflecting and I realized, oh, this is what I went through. And then I was talking, if I was in a conversation with somebody, I was able to remember, and then I can actually do this as a masterclass. I can actually do this as a webinar, as whatever, and show people that you don't need to be afraid of failure. Failure is your companion to success, right? Like you said, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the process to success. And so every successful person has a story of failure that became a stepping stone. Second to the last one, what you can't face, you cannot fix. I think that by the time we're done with this quote, we must have gotten the answer to the questions on our heart. What you cannot face, you cannot fix. Face your fear, face your failure. That's the only way you can fix them. If you're not ready to face them, then you cannot fix them. And then, of course, the last one is denial of fear is as foolish as fear itself. Oh, no, I'm not afraid. No, I'm just waiting for. Remember when I was sharing my experience at the beginning, I said that fear will mask itself, and we're going to see that as we go along. In avoidance, perfectionism. No, it's not yet good enough. That's fear. That's fear. You need to call it, Peter, I see you. I see what you are doing now. Denial of fear is as foolish as fear itself. And because you live in denial, remember the last quote, you will not be able to face it. And you can't fix it. So you remain in that circle. You remain in that loop. You are not moving forward. You're not moving back. you are just stuck. You cannot fulfill purpose. You cannot become all that God says you can be. Why? Because you are afraid that if you be, you may fail. Somebody who has said you can be something, you are afraid that you may fail if you go on the journey of being, on the journey of becoming. So today I want us to admit that fear, accept it, give it a name, maybe write it down in your book. I think I told us to come with our writing materials. Give your fear a name so that when you see it coming, you can call it by its name. Now, what I'm sharing with you is the wheel of life that I use in coaching. Coaches use it a lot, right? And so the question I'm asking you here is, where does, or what area of your life does the fear of failure hit you the hardest? Which area of your life? Is it in your home life? Is it in your relationship life? Is it in your health and wellness? Is it in your money, finance, wealth? Is it your self-esteem? Is it in your work and career? Is it in your recreation and rest? Is it in your friendship or social network? Where does the fear of failure hit you the hardest? Is it in how you show up? Is it in your spirituality? Is it in your achievement? Is it in your peace and contentment? What area of your life? Yeah, my co-tutor, Michael, I can see that. I can see your inscription on the screen. Thank you. Thank you for that. Right? Recreation and self-esteem. And have you asked yourself, how does fear show up in this area? How does fear, Michael, how does it show up for you in these areas? Sometimes it can be maybe you are afraid to try a new hobby. You are worried, I may not be good at it. Or you are engaged in an activity and you quit because this thing is becoming challenging. Or are you avoiding social events because you feel you might embarrass yourself? This is how fear of failure shows up when it comes to fun, recreation, and rest, right? You are afraid to dance in the public. You don't want anybody to judge you. Yeah? You are afraid to sleep. You are afraid to rest because you feel that you are wasting time. If you can engage in the chat box, I can give you examples of, how this thing shows up in your life. Fear of love. You're afraid that you might be hurt. You're afraid that you may not be loved the right way. You're afraid that you may not even have the capacity to love. Oh yes, these things are real. Fear of starting a business because you're afraid you may fail. You avoid dating entirely because you don't want heartbreak. So there's a lot. There's fear of failure shows up in different areas of our lives in different ways. The question is, what are you going to do? Are you going to let it hinder you from building a beautiful home, Esther? Are you going to let it hinder you from achieving peace and contentment? Michael, are you going to let it hinder you from doing the things you're supposed to be doing? But look around, look at this wheel and ask yourself, where is fear of failure holding me? Sometimes it's the fear of friendships, Like somebody said, even business. You avoid launching a business idea. Instead, you are planning and planning and planning and planning. Even the plan is tired of you. But it's just fear. Some of you need to write books. Some of you need to just go out. Do it afraid. You see this thing about doing fear of failure. The first webinar I did this year, it was a lot of chaos. My slides gave up. Everything was just scattering. But I said, you know what? I'ma do it. And I saw it as a learning opportunity to prepare myself better and plan for circumstances that will arise. So the fear of failure, what does it do? It just holds you back. Now, what is failure? You know, there are actually two definitions of failure. What we define failure as and what failure really is. A lot of times people define failure as the end of the road. I failed. That's the end. People define failure as I'm not good enough. I can't do it. No, this will happen. That will happen. Are you for real? Yes. People literally, because of failure, the way they define failure, they hide from others. They see failure as something that they should hide from other people. You don't want somebody to know that you have failed. You don't want somebody to know that you have failed. It is the knowing that you have failed that they can help you to progress in life. And then some people think that failure is a final verdict on their future. As a matter of fact, they make it an identity. They tell themselves that they are a failure. How did you come to that conclusion? Meanwhile, failure is just data. Failure is information for your next move. Failure is an evidence that you even tried. Yes. Failure means you even took the first step. You were bold enough to take the first step. So why are you afraid of it? Fear and failure are two constants in life. I didn't come here to tell you that fear and failure do not exist. They exist. They will continue to exist. But the difference between an achiever and an underachiever or an overachiever and underachiever is that the overachiever knows and has accepted that fear and failure are necessary for this journey. If you're not afraid, it means you're not even challenging yourself. It means you want to stay in your comfort zone. It means you are not ready to build. It means it can mean a lot of things. But that thing that you're doing and you are afraid that will I fail? Will I succeed? You're on the right track. Be going. Just be going. And that's why you can never do it alone. Don't step into any project on your own, because if you step into it on your own and that fear comes, that failure comes, you can easily give up. You must have some sort of accountability, some sort of support system. So failure is a normal part of your everyday growth process. When you fall sick, that's some sort of failure. Do you know that? In your body system. But what does that, do you now stay and, what's the word? Is it cower? No, you find, okay, what did I do? What do I need to do? How do I adjust so that I can get better? And then you avoid it. The example that comes to mind are these people who are lactose intolerant. For some who did not know, by then they realize, every time I eat this, I take this thing, I feel this way. What do I need to do? Maybe I should stop eating it. You will always find a solution. But when you don't even want to take the step to fail, how do you know what is better for you? How do you know the best choice for your life? Failure is only a chapter. It's never the whole story. In fact, the people who make the most success are the people who make the most failures. And there are avoidable failures, and there are intelligent failures. Yes, you can do all you can to avoid the avoidable failures, but you see intelligent failures, they are necessary because that is what sparks innovation. That's what sparks creativity. That's what sparks your what's it, curiosity. So I have come today to tell you that number one, fear and failure, they are your partners in progress. So never let it hold you back from achieving, from becoming, from being. Right? Now, I particularly love the Genesis story. You see, when God created and put man on earth, and then he began to see all the things man was doing, he said, he regretted. That moment he felt like, why did I even create this people? That's regret. And regret comes when you believe you failed at something. But he did not end there. He provided a way out to say, okay, since you people have used your leg to scatter this thing that I created, this thing I beautifully created, there is a way out. And so if you are created in his image, you are also capable of finding a way out of whatever seemingly failure or seemingly bad experience you've encountered. We are made in his image. So we are expected to create things, right? We're expected to build. We're expected to design. We're expected to, whatever it is, in whatever sphere of life that you are, whether you're a student, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a 9-to-5er, whatever it is that you are, whether you're a parent, the moment you realize, this thing I'm doing, this way I'm going, I need to find a more creative solution. You get on it. So scripture doesn't tell the story of people who never fail. No. There are lots of examples in the Holy Bible that tell story of, how people keep falling and how God keeps showing up for them. How in their weakness, right, they were able to come back up. And one of my favorite scriptures, Romans 8:28. And I know that in all things, God is working for my good because I love him. All things are working together for my good. All things. The so-called failure. We should sit back. What are we supposed to do with failure? Sit back and look at it and assess it and ask ourselves, where did I go wrong? And then when you find it, you make correction and you move on. You move on. Are we still there? Are we still there, or have I lost us? If you are still here, I want to see you say, yes, I'm here. I'm here. Care of launching me. Yes, I see you, madam. I see you. I see you. I see you. Thank you so much. All things are working together for your good. Now, this is seeing failure now as a divine process, not as a dead end, not as the word came to my head is gone, not as this one is bad, that's spoiled. You see, because every assignment we have starts as a seed. It starts hidden. It starts unimpressive. It can even be buried. Now, what now happens is that when the seed is in the ground, does it just sprout up? No. It's going to take its time to form. And as that seed, I wish I had that picture. As that seed is coming out of the ground, it's going to have to push through the soil, through pressure, through setbacks to come out. And while it is coming out at the top, it is also taking shape downwards. So God is using that process to build character in us. That in everything, every assignment he has given us, every project he has given us, everything we are supposed to create with our mind or with our hands, you're going to go through a lot of pressure and setbacks. From friends, from family, from yourself. In fact, most times I like to say from yourself first. Your mindset first. Overcoming the fear of failure. It is a mindset. It is when you are able to push through. It's when you're able to form character that you now look back and say, oh my God, I have grown. I remember when I was afraid to do masterclass. I remember when I was afraid to hold the web. I remember when I was afraid to write that book. Now I've written 10 books. I remember when I was afraid to launch a new fashion collection. I remember when I was afraid to grow my business. That experience, that failure. You remember how I shared my experience at the beginning? I went through school and what was driving me was the fear of failure. But then I realized that I did not learn how to learn. Now that experience has become the testimony that I'm using to help other people, has become the hunger that I'm using to help other people, show them that you need to experience these things. You need to, for you to appreciate your results. Except you don't intend making impact. Except you don't intend to of course, yes, make impact, right? Now, why do we even fear failure? Why do we fear failure as adults? Why do we fear failure? For me, my number one is a lack of vision and purpose. You see, without a clear why, every setback will look like they are the same. Because you are not measuring the destination. What does that mean? If you don't have a clear why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I launching this product? Why am I hosting this webinar? Why am I launching this design collection? Why am I catering or doing this thing? Why am I developing myself? Why am I investing in myself? Because that's one thing. I mean, it comes to mind now. Sometimes people will, buy books. They need to read books. Beautiful, good, excellent. But along the line, they get discouraged. All these books, I'm not even reading them. What am I buying them for? Then they stop buying. Why? What is your why? Why did you start buying it? When we don't have a vision, when we don't have a purpose, then we are afraid to fail. We are afraid to fail. There's also the childhood reason. I didn't put that here. I put it under past experience, and we'll get to that. The other reason why people are afraid of failure is fear of judgment. People will judge me. And that's simply because you are worried about what people will think. Your life is based on what people say. Let them say now. I think it's their job. They sit down there waiting for you to fail so that they can say something. You, what does that say about them? What are they doing with their life? Because the truth is, if they were doing something productive with their life, they will not sit down there and be waiting for you to fail to judge you. Why do you think that somebody is preoccupied with your failure in life? Why? Why do you believe that? It's all these things we heard growing up. I'm not going to run ahead of myself. The next thing is perfectionism. It has to be perfect. 100 over 100. 1 over 1. 2 over 2. 1,000 over 10, as a matter of fact. He ate and left no crumbs. He ate and left no crumbs. Because who are you leaving crumbs for? Those are the things, perfectionism. You want to get it to a T. You forget that what you have not executed, you cannot vouch for. It is until you execute it, you will know whether you got it to a T or to an L. An L or a W. You will know. You will know. Perfectionism. The next one is past experience. When as a child, you're expecting your 2-year-old to clean the floor wash plates like a 10-year-old. You are expecting your 4-year-old to be as composed as a 15-year-old. So you are putting that 4-year-old under pressure to be perfect. But they cannot. But you are also endangering them by making them believe that, I am not this thing, my dad is not happy, my mommy is not happy. Over and over and over again, it is reinforced in their mind until they become adults. So now they are trying to please people because that's what past experiences will do for you. You begin to fear of judgment too. You're trying to please people. So as an adult now, you are a high-functioning people pleaser. What did I say? High-functioning people pleaser. Because you see, that's how you were raised. You were not given the opportunity to fail. When you went to school, you came back with your result and you are hiding it because you got 69. You didn't get 70. 70 is A, 69 is B. Like our lives are judged on the grades we get. And then lastly, identity fusion is the people that call themselves failures for me. If for anything I have learned in the past how many years of my life is that I will never call myself that word. No, I'm not. As long as I'm alive, there is always a way to make improvement. And so why not stick to my future? Why call myself a name from the past? That's what you're doing. You are calling yourself a name from the past, a mistake. In fact, you are attaching your identity. You are attaching your identity from your past. And then you say, I am. And you add that word. You add failure to it. You have meshed, you are tying your worth, you're tying your self-worth, your self-esteem, your self-confidence. You are tying it to outcomes. Do you know the beauty of, in fact, when you have vision and purpose, you know the beauty, it is the journey that makes you. It's not even the destination, because the destination can change. But it's the journey, that journey of sprouting, that journey of shaping, that journey of becoming, that journey of doing, that journey, that's what shapes you. That's what makes you a better leader. But no, we did not see all of that. All the mountains we had to climb, all the things we had to let go of to come to that point. The fact that I even made the first step. When they say the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step, that's the first step. And you made it. That means you have 999 steps as opposed to the person that still has 1,000 steps. More people fail from a lack of purpose than from a lack of talent. And for me, that's this lack of vision and purpose is the summary. Is the summary of why we fear failure. And if you don't know what the vision for your life is, that's an assignment I'm going to give you. Go and sit down. If you can't do it on your own, come and pay for coaching. We will draft a vision statement for your life, a purpose statement, so that it will guide you. That's what will guide you. So that when you see challenges, you know that if my goal is to have maybe the biggest platform for young leaders, or is to have the biggest fashion house that caters to whatever your vision is. When you see challenges, what comes to your mind next is not failure. It's how can we navigate this? There's a book I want to pick up and start reading. The Obstacle is the Way. I've looked at that title for so long that now I think I need to pick it up. Because that failure that you are afraid of is what will bet the success that you need. I'm going to say that again. The failure you are afraid of will bet the success that you desire. So the more you are afraid of the failure, the more the success is far. And you are there praying, fasting, crying to God. And God is looking at you and saying, you are not taking action. You are not doing anything. So what exactly do you want me to do? I can't jump and give you, look at Joseph. Just look at Joseph. Look at the life of Joseph. All that obstacle he had to go through, all that seeming failure. At the point he said, what you people planned and thought that was for evil, God has turned it around for my good. Mindset. My job here today, or part of my job here today, is to help you change your mindset. To see that while it is happening, and people call it failure, it is not failure. It is a stepping stone to your success. And even when we decide that this is failure, beautiful. Because now that we have failed at it, we know that this is one way not to do it next time. So the next time we attempt to do it, we'll do it better. The next time we attempt to do it, we're not starting from scratch. We are starting from an understanding. Now, how does fear show in our lives? I think I've started talking about this already. Procrastination. I will do it tomorrow. I will do it next week. I will do it in 1 month's time. You keep delaying. You keep delaying the start time so that the judgment will be fine. Do it now. Let them judge you today. Let you know that it's over. Do it anyhow. You too, you will not look back and laugh at yourself and say, what was I even thinking? But I'm glad I started. The other way fear shows itself, fear of failure manifests, is what? Overthinking. I think it's one of these musicians that say overthinking not the solve problem. It doesn't take it. See, overthinking will not take away the failure. You will still. I am here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you will still fail. The earlier you start, the better. So that you can fail now that you are in your 20s, 30s, and 40s. If you are in your 50s here, you will still fail. Yes, you will fail. The earlier you start failing, the better for all of us. The earlier me I start failing, the better for me. Yes. Instead of planning and planning and planning and planning, plans that never become actions. Plans that never leave the WhatsApp group. Plans that never leave your head. For those of you that keep information in your head, continue. You've not gotten a book. You've not gotten books. You've not gotten journals to keep your ideas. Continue. The journaling workshop is coming up next month, and it's going to be a 7 days journaling workshop. We had season 1 last year. It was beautiful. Powerful, beautiful. I still have the testimonies from last year. For those who were generous enough to share theirs. And this year again, we're coming back to show you how to journal and how to journal your way to success. How to write that vision, how to write that purpose, how to become, how to move from overthinking to becoming an action taker. How does fear manifest? Avoidance. No, I'm not really interested. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't think I'm ready now. Let me not take it. I don't think I want to do it now. Yes. You are avoiding responsibilities. You are avoiding just anything that could be evaluated. That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing. Do you know the funny thing? When I now started my journey, this coaching, counseling journey, when I now started it, and there was exam, do you want to hear what I did? Do you want to hear what I did? I will not tell you, except I see somebody say, tell us. I will not tell you what I did. Avoidance. The next way, or another way that fear manifests and shows itself, is self-sabotage. We have dealt with imposter syndrome. We had a masterclass on imposter syndrome last month for our June edition, right? And that's imposter syndrome, self-sabotage. They're in the same WhatsApp group. You undermine your own effort just right before it counts. So I've set camera, I've set laptop, I've set everything for this session. Then I begin to doubt myself. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I know what it takes. I don't think I have. I don't. You have 1 million. You start sabotaging, bringing down yourself by yourself, with your own mouth. Another way fear manifests is perfectionism. I've mentioned that. Waiting for the right time. Please, when is the right time? Is there a time on the clock that says, I am the right time? The right time is when you are ready. So you stick to playing small. Playing small. I think I see someone said they are afraid to launch their business. You just want to keep it small. You are afraid to go big. I don't know who says it, but I used to hear that phrase, go big or go home. Start dreaming big. Understand that failure is part of life. Understand that failure is part of greatness. Understand that you will fail. You will fail. You will fail. You will fail, but fail with your full chest. Learn your lesson and move on. Oh, it's because I failed 5 years ago. It's because I failed. You failed 5 years ago. You are still failing, my dear. It's not just that 5 years ago. For every year you did not do something about it, you are still failing. Oh, it's because what? It's because you're not taking your life seriously. It's because you don't know, your vision is not set straight. You are not seeing the future. You are not, and by seeing, I mean in your mind's eye. And by the way, I have a series going on YouTube talking about vision, the 12 principles of vision. The 12 principles of vision. It's one of the pillars of vision, is one of the pillars of self-leadership. If you are going to be able to lead yourself, lead other people, you must first be able to lead yourself. And for you to lead yourself, then you must have a vision. Because why? There will be challenges along the road. There will be discouragement along the road. There will be naysayers along the way who would demand of you things that you never imagined. But when you have it within yourself, you know, without any shadow of doubt, you know that you have built yourself for a time as this. You will push through. Now, what happens? Well, now I'm afraid of failure. You don't try. What happens? This is just a list, a very short list of what happens when you don't try. That idea, you never launch it. Your relationship is either you enter and it remains shallow, or you are afraid you don't even enter again. Your fear of failure keeps you away from growing, keeps you away from making progress. You have a gift. You will never use it because why? You're afraid that you will fail. We measure the risk of failing. We rarely, in fact, we never measure the risk of never starting. We rarely measure the risk of never starting. Failing comes with its own risk, but never starting, it has a much greater risk. You stay unfulfilled. Every day you wake up, your chest will be beating. I can do more. I can do more. I can. Well, you're not doing more. You're not doing more because you're afraid. And that is why I said that as part of the framework we are going to share next, you must give it a name. Give that fear a name. If you've not given your fear a name, please do it now. Give your fear a name. So anytime you feel that fear, you tell it, welcome. What is your job here today? What have you come to do? Oh, if you do that, you see the conversation you have with fear, you go far in life. When you do not try, you lose opportunities. Or you will lose opportunities. You will say, hey, and I had that idea. Oh, why didn't I do it now? Because you were afraid now. You were afraid. Oh, they put up one maybe grant. Oh, and I wanted to start my business. So they say your business is going to be up to 5 years. Oh, and you see, that was when I had that business idea. But now it's too late, Abby. It also tells on your confidence. Because you have not started, you're not confident enough to say, oh, I did this, I failed in this area, but then I realized that this, and I learned my lesson, and today, look at where we are. You don't have any proof. Failure is proof that you started. And that's where your destiny helper can find you. Oh, you've actually done something. Oh, wow. So you mean you did this and you put in this effort. Oh, my God. This is so brilliant. Assuming you had mentorship, you would have gone for, okay, I'm going to mentor you. But no, you are there allowing fear to take your glory, to take your shine, to take growth away from you, to take experience. What do you think is experience? What is experience? What is experience? When people say I have experience in doing this, I'm talking of real experience. What is it? It's that they have done something, failed, done it again, failed, done it again, succeeded, done it again, failed again, succeeded again, failed, succeed, failed small. When they now gather everything together, they now say, hey, I have 15 years experience. I have 15 years experience. You see, when fear wins, the cost of not trying is that you lose influence, you lose impact. I think I've mentioned this enough. You lose influence, you lose impact. If you started today, you will start with 2 people, 5 people, 3 people, 2 people, 5 people, 10 people, and you keep growing. But if you don't start today, you decide to start next year, you will still start with 5 people. Yes, sir. You will still start with 2 people. So why not people start with the 2 people today now? So that by next year, you'll be looking at your success and you know that you have gone far. And here comes the framework. It's a very simple framework. I tried to break it down as much as I can to keep it at these 3. A simple sequence that will move you through fear instead of around it. And because you need to make your way through it. Number 1, recognize, which is what I've said here over and over and over again. Call that fear. Give it a name. Give it a name. Give your fear a name. So that when it shows up, welcome. What are you here to do today? What are you protecting me from today? Why did you suddenly come? And it says, oh, you just saw somebody's video and the person has 1,000 followers and you remember that you wanted to shoot the video. So I have come to know whether you can shoot the video or you cannot shoot it. Oh, really? Okay. Okay, so if I shoot it, what will happen? Well, if you shoot it, you may not get likes. If you shoot it, it's not, I mean, people may not share it. Nobody will comment. Is that all? Yeah. So why am I afraid? Have that conversation. Sit down. Talk to. It's because we think that fear is not one abstract thing. Once you notice that fear has come, because the truth is, if you're on your journey of self-awareness, you will notice when fear comes. So it's fear of failure. Oh, so how do I define failure when it comes to posting on YouTube? Is that people not on Instagram? It means I will not have up to 10 likes. I remember, and I'm breaking character now. I remember seeing a video of one of these Instagram influencers, and they were saying, do you know what it means for 100 people to view your story or your reels or whatever? And I thought of it and I said, yes, 100 people that's a small hall with 100 people. So that's a lot. And you are angry and you're happy there's only 100 people. Go to this road and gather 100 people. So, number 1, you recognize, you've given it a name. Number 2, you reframe. Replace the failure story with a growth story. So that conversation you're having with fear, okay, so what's the essence of this fear now? Where is it taking me to? What can I do with it? You're having that conversation with fear. What is this preparing me for? Okay, so it's preparing me. And that's usually one of the problems. I have a recommendation at the end of this session. So please don't go. We'll do it together. Is that we have not been prepared to fail. We have not been trained to fail. We think it's going to be the easygoing life all through. And then when you're able to get those answers, because those answers are going to be different for everybody, that's why it's a framework. Our conversations with the fear of failure is going to be different. At the beginning, when I showed you the wheel of life, Michael said his own fear of failure shows up when it comes to recreation and rest and in his self-esteem. Esther said her own fear of failure shows up in launching her business. Christine said her own fear of failure shows up in scaling up. So imagine our conversations with fear are going to be different. My own fear of failure shows up in posting on Instagram, which is the example I just gave now. If you don't know, I don't want to post. It was yesterday that one of my, sisters came around and she was like, just post there. People need to see you at the end of the day. And the moment she spoke, it's like, I just had lights inside my brain. Like, but that's true. People actually need to see me. Because when I start putting out offers, people will not just throw their money at somebody that they have not seen. So I put up the video. I put it out. I put another one out today. I said, let's be putting it. Let's start somewhere. Because at the end of the day, we will still do it. So let's people start now. So that we can look back and say, hey, good days. So our conversations are going to be different. Number one, recognize it. Give it a name. Give your fear a name. Give it a gender safe. You can give it a man or a woman. Whatever gender you want to give your fear. Call it a name. And welcome it like a friend. Because it is a friend. And you need to go through it anyways. Reframe it. And then respond. Choose a response. Take the smallest next action. We're going to be doing a practical session in the next few minutes. Because the most important thing is motion, not certainty, is what breaks fear's grip. It's not that you are certain that this thing will not fail. You are not certain. Just make the move. And so here I've shared some practical steps on how to move in spite of the fear. Because again, what did I tell you in the beginning? Fear and failure, they tanda put for this matter. This matter of success, this matter of achieving it in life, this matter of going big, fear and failure, they tanda put. So what is the number one thing you want to do? Look at that your purpose and vision, that you have broken down into a goal. Look at your goal. Break it into small decisions. As small as possible. Decisions you can take in the next 24 hours. Right? And then decide for yourself, what is good enough? What effort will I put that will show good enough? What effort will I put towards this action I'm to do in 24 hours that will show I have done enough? And then number three, when fear visits you, what do? Just tell it, welcome. I see you. I hear you. And I don't think what you're saying is exactly true. Right? This is the truth. I will post my video on Instagram, and the people that it is supposed to reach, it will get to them. And those lives that is supposed to impact, it will impact. I'm not after. And that's why you need to define what success is for you. That's that number two. To define what's good enough. I've uploaded the video. I've uploaded it. I don't need 1 million editing tools. In fact, for me, that was a big challenge that I used to give myself when I was, at the beginning stage of my fear of failure. Because I'm not here to preach to you that my deliverance is still ongoing. But the distance I have covered, I can tell you that I'm putting it out. I used to say, I see my face, makeup used to be my excuse. Until, remember I talked about accountability. It was some of my sisters who visited me in the house. I said, what are you saying? You say you don't have background. You have this. You say you don't have. They literally were going around my house and telling me, you have background everywhere. So then I realized that this is actually, I'm afraid that if I put it online, what will people see? I'll be judged. It was a lot of things. So I decided what my minimum is. And then when fear comes, I say, hey, I see you, I hear you. Today I was working on this slide. I was carrying my newborn. I was feeding him Because I have gathered people here. And even though there's only one person, I will show up for that one person. I will show up for those 2 people. I'll show up for those 10 people. And then if you're a Christian, you have God. Every attempt you're making, hand it over to God. While I was praying, I just said, God, I bring these people before you. If it is 2 people, 5 people, anybody's life you want to touch, I shall bring them before you. Because what do I know that I'm going to come and say anyways? I'm going to talk from my experience and add 1 or 2 things to join it. And then what's the next thing? Number 5 practical step. Track your attempts, not just your outcomes. See, when I go to my YouTube channel and I see that I have almost 10 videos, I'm like, yeah. Who is the chairman of this association again? Please call them to give me my flowers. I'm proud of myself. This is my baby steps and I'm celebrating it. I'm celebrating it with my full chest. I'm celebrating it. And me, I have more than 10 videos in the public because the videos, I have some videos on YouTube that have never gone public and may never go public. Anyways, thank God I'm doing the ones that can go public. Celebrate that move. Celebrate it. Okay? Now, this is a quick infographic that I picked up from John Maxwell's Failing Forward, right? And it's just 4 principles. Redefine, so your decision is to redefine failure as information. So what that means is every attempt you make becomes data for your next move, not putting a final verdict on your life. That would mean you will stop comparing. And for me, that was also one of the first things I did. I had to stop because, again, who am I comparing? My experience and their experience is not the same. Why am I comparing myself with them? Our journey is different. Why am I comparing myself with them? So I decided, you know what? I'm going to honor my own timeline. I'm not matching with anybody else. I'm grateful for where they are. I'm also, in fact, more grateful for where I am. Because now that I have woken up, it is my own morning. So I cannot be using somebody's afternoon or night to judge my own morning. That's what you're doing. Every time you sit back, allow failure to hold you from achieving, from becoming, from impacting, from influencing, from fulfilling purpose, you are dishonoring yourself. You are dishonoring yourself. For every time you compare yourself to another person, you are dishonoring yourself. If you don't take anything from today's session, please take this. For every time you are afraid to fail because you are comparing yourself with another person, you are dishonoring yourself. You are dishonoring your destiny. You are dishonoring your influence. You are dishonoring your purpose. Your business is not to compare yourself with anybody. It's in the Bible. They that compare themselves with themselves, they are fools. What are you comparing? If somebody's life challenges you, beautiful, pick the challenge and do something with your own. But to compare it and then now use it to hold yourself back, let your future not see you and give you a slap on the face. Number 2, iterate in cycles. Like we said, break your goals into small. Do small, observe, adjust, try again. Do small, observe, adjust, try again. By the time you do it 3 times, 4 times, you will know what to change. You will know what to include. You will know what to remove. You will know what to start doing, stop doing, do less of, do more of. That's one of the tools we use in coaching. It's a principle from iterate. You do a little of this, you do a little of this, you stop doing this, you do small. By the time you put it together, it forms a big goal. Number 3, build a supporting environment. I've had people come into coaching sessions over and over again. I don't know if it's a trend or something, but you hear them saying, I don't have I don't know who I can use as accountability partner. As how? So you mean all your circle, nobody is worthy. That speaks to who you are. It does. But what is my own? I'm taking training now. So you can come and sign up for my services as accountability coach. You will pay me money and I will follow you bumper to bumper. Yes, I will do accountability for you because why not? But which other work do I have? My work is to help you become all that you need to be. Yes. Yes. You must build a supporting environment. Why? Because it's that community that will help you. Remember, I gave the example. I said something that any project you embark, don't go alone. There must be somebody who knows about it, so that when you are discouraged, you can talk it to somebody. You can say, I feel discouraged. I'm afraid to fail. I'm this, that, da, 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 da. You talk it out. Build a supporting environment. Find mentors. Find peers. Find a coach. Find a coach. And the truth is, if you come and I cannot help you, I will direct you to somebody. I have plenty of people that if you come and I cannot help you, I will direct you to them. If I can help you, I will gladly help you. You will gladly pay for the services and I will gladly help you. Build the support. Don't do life alone. It's not even possible. Number 4, celebrate progress. I've said this. We're not celebrating perfection here. We are not. And so I'm going to be leaving you with this, right? Is that I want you to craft an affirmation right now, in that book, in that writing material you brought into this session. I want you to craft an affirmation for yourself. What I have on the screen are just samples. I want you to craft an affirmation for yourself based on everything you have heard about overcoming the fear of failure. I am not defined by dash. What looked like failure was actually preparing me for today. Despite the fear, I will take one small step towards what? I trust God with the outcome of that. And you can add maybe 3 or 4 more. But I want us in the next 5 minutes, now is 9:27. In the next 5 minutes, I want us to write out something. And I would love to see our response in the chat box. I am not defined by what? Yes, I am not defined by what? What looked like failure was actually preparing me for what? What was it preparing me for? And then today, despite the fear, I will take one small step forward or towards what? Are we there? Are we there? I just opened the chat. Okay. Right. So I want us. Yes, Esther. Thank God you have left that group chat. Run. Delete the group from your phone. Everything. Never call yourself a failure. Never. Never ever call yourself a failure. As how? From where to where? How did you come about calling yourself a failure? So I'm waiting for your response. I'm waiting for your response to these questions. I'm waiting for your response. I am not defined by what? I am not defined by what? Yes, yes, yes. I'm waiting. I'm not seeing anybody's chat. Am I audible? I am not defined by what? What looked like failure was actually preparing me for what? Today, despite the fear, I will take one small step toward what? I trust God with the outcome of what? Are we there? Thank you. Thank you, Esther. I'm not defined by my mistakes. Yes. Yes, I am not defined by my mistakes. There's a song, my mistake is not who I am. The lies they told me is not who I am. My past is not who I am. No, it's not. None of those things are who you are. None of those things are who you are. Yes, thank you. I am not defined by my past. What looked like failure was actually preparing me for my assignment. This is for somebody. What looked like failure was actually preparing you for your assignment. It looked like failure. In fact, you called it failure, but it's actually preparing you. You see, that thing you are going through is to help other people come out of it. It's to help other people come out of it. I am not defined by my environment. Some of you are so much afraid of failure that you cannot even live where you are. And God is saying to you, come out of that land. Abraham, come out onto a land that will show you, but fear not will agree you. You know Abraham was afraid. God had to call him, oh yeah, come and see the stars in the sky. That's how many children you will have. You are letting people's opinion. Can you hear me, please? Apologies, this thing went out. So I'm not defined by fear. Oh, I'm not defined by fear. What looked like failure is actually preparing me for greatness. Despite the fear, I will take one small step towards my assignment and God's purpose for my life. You have to define what that assignment is. Of course, you must trust God with the outcome of your life. It's only God that knows what the end will be. That's why when people say they're trying to make ends meet, ends will not meet because nobody even if end meet, will you know what end look like? Will you know what the end looks like? You don't know. Because the moment end wants to, something will always be up. So you cannot hold back. Tell yourself, I will not hold back. I am moving despite the fear. I am taking small actions despite the fear. I am doing what I need to do despite the fear. I'm not going back. I'm not holding back. My past does not define me. Yes, it does not define me. And with that, I would say we've come to the end of this session. I don't know if anybody has any question. If you have any question, now will be the time to ask your questions. If you have any questions, now will be the time for you to ask your questions. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for sitting here. And more importantly, the question I want to ask you is what came up for you, right? While I'm waiting for your questions, what came up for you as you were listening to me? What thoughts surfaced in your mind? You know, what idea? What came up? If you have any question, please I'm going to sit in the question in the chat box. Yes, Ike, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm going to be in the chat box waiting for your questions. While you're writing your questions, I'm just going to do a quick summary. And this is it. Number one, failure is preparation. It is not the final verdict on your life. Okay? Number two, your setbacks fit inside a larger divine process. It is all for a big picture. Number three, fear would usually show up as delayed doubt avoidance. Give that fear a name. Give it a name. And I hope you've all done that. Give that fear a name. Number four, recognize, reframe, respond. Now, what is your next step from here? I want you, as you go home, you see that the affirmation you wrote down, you're going to say it to yourself every day. And add more. Maybe add 6 more, let it be 10. Say it to yourself at least 3 times a day for the next 7 days. And then pick a goal in your life that you need to work on. Pick on something you need to work on. Break it down and take the first step in the next 24 hours. Because our problem is, it's not that we don't know, it's that we are not taking action. We are betraying ourselves by not taking action. So please, take one step in the next one. And that's why I say write it down. I always say write it down, write it down, write it down. I will do this by so time tomorrow. And do it. Set a reminder. As you're writing it down, set a reminder. What are your next steps? Who is your accountability partner? Find an accountability partner. Reach out to them in the next 12 hours. Tell them, look, hello, I want you to hold me responsible on this. And if they have something they want you to hold them responsible on, fine. If they don't, fine. But for your own self, I want you to hold me responsible on this. I want to do these 3 items by the end of the week. I want to do this in the next 48 hours. I will tell you that I have done it or not. That's how to hold it. It's you that will do the work at the end of the day. See, no matter who you meet in this life, no matter whether you go for anything, they will only help you see the light. But it's you that will go and hug the light. It's you that will carry the light and begin to run for your life and destiny. It's you that will make progress. So if you say you're going to go and do a vision board or something, or build your vision statement, now there's a difference between vision board and vision statement. Right? Of course, the word already sounds differently. If you want to say, okay, maybe I want to write it, sit down and ask myself, what's my vision? What's my purpose? What's my life purpose? Why am I here on earth? What am I here to do? If that's the assignment you're going to give yourself, then you need to start now. Start already. And then, of course, if you feel like you need some hand-holding, you feel like you need some help, please do well to book a follow-up session, a coaching session with us, and we would gladly hold your hand. Everyone who comes into our session never leaves the same. Anybody here who has experienced our coaching session knows that when you come in, we'll do the work, right? We'll do the work. So you can book a session, a coaching session with us, and we'll get you started. I'll post the link. Let me see. And then I'll post the link for that. But lastly, I don't see any question. I don't believe that is it that you are afraid to ask question, or what exactly is the name and color of the issue? You cannot be afraid to ask question. No, you cannot be afraid to ask question. You understand everything I have said completely. That's scary. That is scary. I'm going to post, for those of us who are not in the community, I'm going to post the link to the community. So if you want to join the community where we have more conversations and all of that, let me see. Is it add member now? No. How do I share the link? I don't have the link for this community. Right? So if you want to join the community, you can, yes. So copy link. You can click on this link and join the community, right? You can join the community using that link. We have continuing conversations. And yes, I'm going to be sharing, I did a cheat, what's the word? Cheat sheet, right? Yes, I did a cheat sheet for how fear shows up and what you can do when fear shows up. So I'll share that on the community. So you can join if you want to join. And also, what did I say I was going to share? Okay, the link to coaching sessions. Maybe I should do a discount for people who are here. No, I pay the money that says small money. I've already done a discount. I've already done a discount. Right? So let me copy this. Control A, Control C. So the offer is 30K for 2 sessions, right? As against 20K for 1 session. So if you want to come in for a session, a one-on-one session, that's the link. I'm also going to post that on the WhatsApp group. And with that, I'll say thank you. Thank you so much for honoring me with your presence. I do not take this for granted, and I pray that the transformation you so desire, the heights that you so desire to get to, you will get there with your full chest. You will sing your victory song. I think that's it. You will sing your victory song. No holding back, no stopping you. Nothing can stand in your way. And one of my favorite songs is I'm Unstoppable. Yeah? I'm unstoppable. I am the lion. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. It's been an awesome time having you all. I do not take this for granted. And I remain my humble self, O.C.N. Yes, that's me. You say you don't have questions, so I'm not going to hold this host stage. With that, we've come to the end of this masterclass. See you in August. Please look out for the journaling workshop in August. It's a 7-day marathon, 2 hours every day. And I usually do it on the week of my birthday because it's my gift to the world's people, right? And I'm looking for volunteers, please, for that event. I'm looking for volunteers to help me plan and put it together and do what needs to be done. So I'll post that out very soon. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please make sure you're doing one thing in the next 24 hours. And we always say that you must commit to doing something in the next 24 hours. And one of those things I have given you is your affirmations. Complete them and begin to say them. Complete them and begin to say them. You remember what they are, right? Thank you so much. It's been a great time having you all. Looking forward to doing this with you next month. This master classes will hold till December. And so if you want to be part of the community, the link is in the WhatsApp group. It's in the chat section. Join the WhatsApp group. If you want to book a one-on-one coaching session, you can also use that link. I think we also have a group coaching for fearless coaching. Yeah, we have a fearless coaching experience, but it's a group coaching. The other one is one-on-one. I will give you 2 sessions. Group coaching will give you, I think, 4 sessions. Yeah. So choose whichever one you want anyways. But I put on the one-on-one. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And